Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with a guest.
By the support.
So today we'll be reacting to Lee Peterson trigger gay pastor by asking one question. Wow. So guys, without further ado, let's get started.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Fallen State. I am Lee Peterson. Help us fight censorship by hitting the thumbs up button, and then don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. You can ring my bell. Ring the bell, all right? I have with me today Pastor Kurt D. Thomas. He's a senior pastor of the Renewed Church of Los Angeles. Am I right?
That is correct.
Renewed Church of Los Angeles. Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you for having me.
I absolutely appreciate it.
Thank you.
And so, were you called to be a pastor, or did you go to school for it?
Well, at the age of 9, I felt the presence of God over me. I grew up in a Pentecostal church, so I went through that entire Pentecostal experience. And it wasn't until I matriculated through college that I decided to get a bachelor's degree in theology, or to study theology while I was at Stillman College.
Oh, I see. So God didn't call you. You decided to go to school for it.
No. I believe that I was called by God to do what I do.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
And why do you believe that?
Why do I believe that I was called? I know that I'm called to do what I do because because I have a passion and I have a desire to see people elevated from where they are to where they need to be.
Oh, okay. And when you say where they are, do you believe that human beings are in a fallen state?
Explain what you mean by that.
Fallen. You're a pastor. You should know.
Yeah, but explain what do you mean by a fallen state?
Do you know? Do you believe that human beings are in a fallen state? You know what fallen means, right?
A fallen state means that they've fallen from the grace of God. Is that what you're? Okay.
Right.
So I believe that that humans have fallen from a fallen state, but with the whole deal with reconciliation, I think that God reconciles us back to himself.
So you do agree then that human beings have fallen away from God, right?
That humans have fallen away from God according to Adam and all that, yes.
And then at some point, those who seek him will come back.
Those who seek him, are that he's called back to them, yes, then they will.
Is it possible to open?
Okay, I'm sorry for posting this video too early, but the way the pastor is going about this, the way Peterson is going about this question, I think he's, leading him to slaughterhouse.
Yes.
Because you see, when you want to catch an animal, you try to give them what they want or what you feel they like. Then you lead them to
where they wouldn't like.
So I think he should be careful with the way he answers the question, because
he's answering him way too quickly.
Well, let's continue.
Become that fallen state.
It is possible to overcome that fallen state if we accept Christ back into our hearts.
Right.
Okay.
How does one know when they're in a fallen state?
Well, a person will know that they're in a fallen state when they don't live a life that's acceptable. I believe that's really acceptable to themselves. So like a person that is a drug addict, or a person that is drinks too much liquor, a person that maybe possibly not living their best life, or doing what they're called to do. I think that those people are the people that find themselves in a fallen state.
So when they're not living their life according to God, and they're in a fallen state?
If you're not living a life that is according to the principles of God, yes.
Then you're in a fallen state.
Then you're in a fallen state.
So if I read, and I don't know if it's true or not, I'd like to ask the person before I mention, know if it's true or not. Are you a homosexual?
I am a same gender loving man.
So does that mean you're a homosexual?
It means that I'm a same gender loving man.
But just from, I'm black and slow.
Okay.
And just for the record, does that mean you're a homosexual?
I could be considered a homosexual.
Are you considered? I don't want to think of you if you're not.
I'm a homosexual.
You're a homosexual?
Yes.
And so you're a homosexual pastor?
I am a homosexual pastor, yes.
How long have you been a homosexual pastor?
I've been a pastor for 8 years, senior pastor, and then before that, prior to that, I was a youth pastor.
Oh, okay. Why do you think that God would call a person, a homosexual, to be a pastor but not change him?
So, I don't think that God majors where we minor. And so I think that what happens is I think that we put limitations on God that God doesn't have. For example, we could, if you go to seminary or something like that, you find out that there's a thought process that God could possibly be a woman, or that God could be this, or that God could be that God can be whatever it is that you need him to be.
You believe that he can be a woman?
I believe that God can be whatever it is that you need him to be.
So could he be a homosexual too if you needed him to be one?
Well, honestly, I don't think that God, the Bible says that God is neither male nor female.
Right. So how can he be a woman then if he's not a female?
Well, I'm saying that, so there's a book that's by who's the book by? There's a book that is written, it's called,
Okay. Well, like I said before, Jesse is just leading him to the point where whatever he says,
He's going to contradict himself.
I'm telling you, because he's supposed to be a lawyer, because this is what we need in our jury system. Like, you need someone that can, interrogate you, ask you questions, sensible questions that, you can't escape from. Let's say if this pastor here committed, let's say, murder. He's not going to ask you the question, did you kill the person?
No.
He's going to beat around the bush, put you in a state whereby you can't even
By the
deny
time you
it.
realize you already accepted the fact that you killed the person.
But this is good. I like his method of interview because it's just nice. He makes you feel comfortable, asks you questions that is related to your field.
Yeah.
Before going
He
to the
will
main
hit
topic. You see, I love that so much because assuming they just sat down, then he started with why are you a gay or why are you a gay pastor. It will look like yes, you are attacking him, but instead
he will feel offended
Yes.
by it.
he actually made him feel like okay, you're a pastor, so
You're
answer
welcome.
topic related to your field before he went for the queue where
And he couldn't even accept the fact that he was a homosexual.
That
He was
is
like, I'm a same gender loving man.
well, we are not against homosexual, but if it's the Bible that I read, I don't think it's in the Bible that a man should marry a man. Because you see, I've seen Christian that because our Bible advises us to marry, one man, one woman. When I see people that feel like they want to marry additional women, they just do it the traditional way, go to the woman's house, pay for the things, and marry
Bring
her
her
because no one is going to stop you from doing that. But for you to come to the church with that idea that you want to marry a second wife, the church will not support you. That's the truth. So if you're a pastor and you feel you like your fellow man, no one is killing you. We are free. You see, there's a free word. You can step down from that position, then you go ahead and do your thing. Or if the church permits you, fine. Then own up to it. Like, be proud of what you are doing.
This time he's the head of the church. He's the senior pastor.
Then be proud of it, okay? For you to do something as a Christian or as a pastor, you've seen reason, and he said he was called by God. So obviously you've spoken to your God, and he has directed you on what to do. So just own up to it.
He made a point there that God doesn't measure our minors. That means that he doesn't really make big things out of our faults or our flaws.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't agree with him. Because let's say, for example, Sodom and Gomorrah. This is one of the reasons why God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, because of this atrocity. So you see, if God can, destroy Sodom and Gomorrah because of this kind of sin.
Imagine God looking at the world
Yeah,
right
because
now.
now you are preaching to his people, because he said, go into the world and, preach the gospel, win souls.
Yeah.
You are preaching to them. Then what are you encouraging them to do? Because as a senior pastor, I'm not against homosexual or whatever, but let's call a spade a spade.
Mm-hmm.
You are preaching the gospel. It is not allowed in the house of God. So if you want to do it, there's no harm in stepping down. Okay, this is what I feel like. No one is going to crucify you. I think that's why Jesse is having more reason to tackle him, because he feels you're a pastor. So you are not supposed to do this, because a whole lot of people are looking up to you.
Yes.
So let's just see how the video, unfold.
Well, that's all right by the title. What about the book?
But in the book, the principles of the book talk about God swaying himself to the spirit, and it's called The Shack by W.M. Paul Young. And so if you read that book, then you find out that God basically finds himself congruent to whatever state of mind a person is in. And so at one state, God is a Jewish carpenter. At one state, God shows himself as a big black woman in the kitchen cooking.
Big black woman?
A black woman in the kitchen cooking. And so
you think God could be a big black woman?
I think that God can be whatever it is that you need God to be at that moment.
Do you think that God can be a homosexual too?
If God needs to be a homosexual, I think that he was, but I don't liken him to that. I don't liken God to be to be an isolated gender.
So you believe that God can be a woman, a big black woman, a homosexual?
God can be whatever you need God to be.
And so does that person make God what they want him to be in their mind so they can accept being wrong? Or does God switch genders and all that kind of stuff?
I don't think that we create God to be whatever we want God to be in our minds. I think that it's based on experiences. The experiences of that person allows God to transform himself in whatever it is that person needs to be. For example, if you've ever gone to Africa, or if you've ever gone to a part of the world where there's no westernized religions, to where people they don't have an isolated form of who Jesus is or what he looks like, opposed to what you were talking about earlier.
Right.
We don't know what he looks like, and so since that, God becomes whatever it is that person's experience.
But those countries that don't believe in God, they are S-hole countries, and they're all trying to come here now and bring their S-hole attitudes.
Their S-hole? What is that?
Huh?
What is that?
What is S-hole country? It's an S-H-I-T hole.
Oh, you're saying that they're S-hole countries.
Right, because those people don't believe in God.
I wouldn't say that they don't believe in God. I would say
they don't believe in the real God. They have their own made-up God based on their imagination, right?
I wouldn't say that. I would say that we experience God on the level that we know God. So if you have somebody that is an Indian and they've never had anyone explain to them the ideology of God that is created here in Western culture, then I think that
Western culture?
Western culture is where we are now. It's what we operate in a canonized version of the Bible, in which we accept as the authentic truth of who.
But Western culture is the best culture, right?
I wouldn't say that.
Then why everybody trying to come here? If we're not the best, if Western culture is not the best culture, why everybody trying to come to what's not the best culture?
Is everybody trying to come here?
Everybody and their mama. Have you noticed we can't even keep the illegals out?
I wouldn't say that everybody's trying to come here, but I would say that there are people that are trying
from all over the world
to come here from all over the world.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if we are not the best country, why are they trying to come here? Why don't they go to the best country?
We can consider ourselves to be the best country,
but we are the best. And that's because of Western culture.
Well, I wouldn't use the word best. Maybe I would use the word, we're probably a country where people are allowed to be free and be themselves.
So we're the best.
If you say best, then
I agree with the pastor when he said, people are allowed to be, and do whatever you want to do. But the part I don't support him is, you are kind of, I see him as a leader. So there are so many people, looking, up to him. So if you are not able to defend or talk to them or make them see reason why you are doing a certain thing, because whatever he's saying, I'm not seeing any point in it. He said God can be seen in different way, at
Depending
the first
on
date,
the person's experience.
He said God came as, a carpenter's son, and also from there he came as a burning bush and all.
He said he came as a big black woman.
Yeah, but the thing is, you are not hitting the nail on the head. You see, he said, okay, we should not define God based on any gender. Okay, so does that mean that God did not claim that, okay, he's this person and he's married to this person? They're asking you, why are you gay? Okay, why as a pastor is it advisable to be gay? And you're saying, okay, God this, God that, God that, God that. No, God came in different form, and he did not say, okay, because I'm this. So even when he was coming to meet, when the Holy Spirit came upon, what's it called? Mary. At least it's a woman, not a man. Yeah. So we take it that God is a man, because he said at the beginning, he said, let's create man in our own image. You see, which after that, Adam was formed. Yeah. So when he created Eve, he did not say in our own image. Yes. He said he took the ribs while Adam was sleeping. So we take it that, okay, God might be a man. Yeah. Because for him to make man in his own image, so he might be a man. So, but for the pastor, I wish he would say, okay, in this scenario in the Bible, this and this and this is this. You defend your facts. But I'm not seeing that. It's just saying things about God.
Imagine the congregation listening to him.
I don't think God allow us to marry same sex. You see, he's talking about, okay, the Bible we're reading is like, okay, they've tampered with it, which I'm not doubting. But we have other religion, you see, like the Islamic religion that don't permit this. And it was making example of some part of the world that we don't even have this, you see, the Bible. But still, those parts of the world still believe one man, no, sorry, not one man, one woman. They believe that a man should get married to a woman. Yeah. It does not matter the number of women you're getting married to or the number of men you're getting married to.
It's a woman.
So it does not really, we don't need Western education or Western way of life to even know what to do. Even if you don't even have this, Western knowledge, but you already know, my father got married to this woman and they produced me. So that is how the trend will continue. So when you say, okay, male, we are very, very few in this world. You see, if you go to prison, the number of men there are much. And everywhere we are much. So stop depriving ladies of their husband. Like, yeah. Oh God!
Give us a husband.
So I want to go back. You say God is a black woman.
I didn't say God was a black woman. I used the book as an analogy
that God was a black woman
to show us that God could be whatever it is that we need God to be.
Amazing. Do you believe that book?
I believe that God could be whatever it is that we want God to be.
Really?
Yes.
And so you've been a homosexual all your life, you said earlier, right?
At the age of 9, I knew that I liked the same sex. Yes.
How did you become that way?
I didn't become that way. I knew that was my innate nature to like men.
And so how did your nature go from a natural nature of being a man or male to an unnatural nature of becoming a woman? How did that happen?
So, you said the unnatural nature of me becoming a woman?
Yeah, you were born a natural male, right?
You're born a natural male.
Right, you were, right?
I am a male currently sitting here in front of you.
But how did you go from being a natural male to an unnatural woman?
Who's an unnatural woman?
But isn't homosexuality is like being a female feelings?
No.
What is it?
No.
What is it exactly?
Being gay is, or being gay, being a homosexual, whatever term that a person wants to use to identify themselves. It's an innate state of being. It means that this is who that person is. If I'm not a woman, I'm a man sitting here in front of you having a conversation. I have a penis, just like you have.
Well,
a
you
penis.
do have the male parts, but now they're cutting that off too. Did you hear about that? We'll get to that. But do you feel inwardly? Do you feel like a male or you feel like a female?
I am a male sitting here in front of you.
No, but what do you feel
I
like?
feel
on
like
inside?
a male. And
Inside?
I am a male sitting here in front of
I
you.
realize that, but inside, do you feel like a man or you feel like a woman?
I am a male sitting here in front of you. So that answers your question, right?
I know.
I don't feel like anything because I am a male.
You don't feel like neither male nor woman?
I am a male sitting here in front of you.
I realize that, but what made you think you're a homosexual then? If there's not a
What makes
feeling on
me-
the inside, why do you think you're
Homosexuality is not a feeling; it's a state of being. It's who the person innately is.
Uh-huh.
It has nothing to do with. It has nothing to do with creating a feeling that you're talking about. It's an innate. It's the innate nature of who that person is. I innately am who I am. Me being gay or homosexual has nothing to do for me with being a man. It has everything to do with my preference and who I choose to sleep with.
What does the word innately mean? What does that mean? I'm black and slow. I don't know what that means.
The word innate,
Uh-huh.
the word innate means that I'm not changing or I'm not becoming something else. I am who I am.
Just before we started the show, you said that you introduced your, is he your husband or your wife? Is that your husband? He's going to be your husband or your wife?
Oh my God.
I'm gonna end this interview.
Why?
Because we're ending this right now.
Why you want to end?
We're ending it.
Well, why
Take this
come
off.
back?
Take this off. When you want to have a real conversation,
I'm
call
having-
me.
I'm-
No, you're bullshitting me,
Come
and
back.
I'm not gonna be a part of that. Come take this off of me, or I'm gonna take it with me.
But why are you running?
Come take this off of me, or I'm gonna take it with me. Please take it off of me.
Really,
Because
come take it
you're
off.
disrespecting me.
But no, I'm
So-
asking you really.
Please take it off.
Am
or
I
I'm gonna
asking
take
him
it
real
with
serious
me.
question?
No, I'm saying, just let them take their recording. They're trying to get a reaction. What's that?
It's okay.
No, that's not what we're
Okay,
doing.
so
Just take it off.
yeah.
But tell me why
is
you're
it
running.
down?
I'm not running, sir, but when you want to have a real conversation, you have my information. You can
But you
call
said
me.
that you were gonna.
When you want to have a real conversation,
You said
When
that
you
gonna
wanna have
marry
a
this-
real
You
conversation,
said you're
you
gonna
can call
marry
me.
this guy.
when you want to have, he's a guy. You're calling him a female. You're being disrespectful.
I asked if you gonna call him husband or wife. Come back. Do you want to be interviewed? No. Amazing. Well, they gone. That's amazing. They gone. They walked away. So the deal is that was Pastor Kurt D. Thomas. And Kurt D. Thomas is a senior pastor of the Renewed Church of Los Angeles. And he is a admitted homosexual pastor. And what he does is he works with men. They host a monthly men's group, they say. So I wanted to know about all that, but just before we started the show, he introduced this other male, a black male, that he said that they're going to get married soon. And I know that these people are doing that and they're calling it marriage. So I wanted to just kind of lay out that first. I had no idea that he was going to run, because if they are proud of being what they are and they say that it's normal, you would think that they would want to talk about it. But apparently not. And so I don't know what's going to happen, but he's gone. There's no use in praying for him anymore. He's gone. I wanted to ask him about the Great White Hope, Donald Trump. I wanted to ask, how does this work?
Guys, this is hilarious. Like,
The way he just took off, like, I mean, mostly they introduced their person as their partner, so he could have just like said that and just go on with the interview.
Yeah.
But I feel like he was just waiting for a moment to escape, and Jesse just gave him that moment.
That's
like
true.
that question was just it for him. He's like, no, if I don't leave right now, what's going to happen? I don't know, and I don't think I have the answers for what this man wants to know from me or what he wants from me. But I think I have to look for a way to escape. So once the question came, he was like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? If you want to have a real conversation, you let me know. You have my details. And he just took off. Like, You could have just, this is a simple question. Is
That's
he your
true.
husband or your wife? I think what he wanted to know was, is he like the top or bottom? Because that's what they have for
Yeah.
the gays. He could have. Oh my God.
Well, we are not in any way against gay. You are free to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
the only reason why we're after this guy is because he's a Christian. You see, not only a Christian, he's a pastor.
Senior
And
pastor.
Senior pastor. You have a whole lot of people looking up to you. You're mentoring a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
And I won't allow my, child to go to his church.
But Jesse made a point that it's a male, it's like a male church. So it's like there are no. He works with men. That's what Jesse said. He works with men
I see.
that they hold like weekly male. What's it called? Like meetings.
But anyway, just accept what you are doing. It's that simple. No one is going to kill you or bullshit you for being a gay. It's a normal thing. I've seen so many gay, I've seen, lifestyle of gay, but I feel like it's normal if you want to do it. Just be proud of it. Okay, here's who I like and this. But he's speaking as if, he's
not
he's
sure.
shy.
Yeah.
He feels like, since my religion did not permit it, I don't want
It's going
to.
be,
You see?
yeah.
You just be proud of what you do, okay? No one is going to kill you. It's a free world, according to what he said. He said the Western world, they are free to do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
I know all this started of recent because formerly it wasn't like this.
They
it
were
was like,
doing it in the secret.
but now it's like everyone is free to be who they want to be.
Yeah.
And we are not in any way against you. Do what you want to do. It's your life. We have our own life. We choose who we want to be with.
Yes.
So I love the fact that JC is a very smart man. You see, he has a way around things. When you ask question or you bring, let's say, you say something, you'll find a way to twist it as a question and throw it back
Bring
to
it
you.
back to you.
That's it. That's what you're supposed to do
To
as
see if like you hold up your words.
yeah. Like I said before, is a good. I'll take him as a good journalist, and also he would have, maybe try something related to law. Let's see how he will go, because I think he will not lose any case because he will surely have his way. Well, I see him as a bit older man, so I see more of experience.
Yeah.
You see, well, let us know what you think in the comment section. If this is the first time visiting our channel, click on the subscribe button, and I'm glad to be reacting this video with my amazing guests.
By the support.
Thanks for watching, and remember this.
Yeah.